Good morning, children of light. I pray that His mercy will always be with you. The message that we are sharing this morning is titled, All Lengths My Handworks, and I myself does not learn from anybody. That is, God is not a learner. God does not learn from anyone. He is the chief instructor. He is the one that inspires the instructors, the coach. So he does not learn from anybody. All learns from him because he is before the creation began. Before the creation begins by him, he has been in existence, which means God does not learn from anyone. All learns from him. Listen, my students, the Bible let us to understand that in God we live, we move, we operate. So we are inspired in God. There is no one that can live outside God because it was only God alone that lived in empty spiritual realms. And that is infinite spiritual realm that convey all spiritual realms. So before the creation started by him, God knows all things, and all things lives in him. The Bible let us to understand that there is no other God before him. He said, he know not any. Before him there was no God form, and after him there is none. Therefore, as a child of God, you must know that God does not learn from anything, but all learns from his handworks. So our golden text is taken from the book of Romans 11, verse 33 to 36. That let us to understand that the depth and height of God's wisdom and knowledge is infinite. That his work cannot be searched, is unsearchable, and his acts is countless. And Acts 17, verse 24 to 28, let us to understand that he was the maker of heaven and earth, and he does not need the help of anyone to do anything. So he does not need help of anything to survive. He does not need the help of anyone to operate. He does not take permission before he performs his operations because he has been in existence before the creation began, and he will continue to operate according to his own will. So we are to submit to God's will because his will supersedes all things. Hebrew 3:4 let us to understand that every house is built by someone, but he that built all things is God. Once it was God that built all things, that is, God that created all things. Is the one that created the soul, is the one that created the spirit, is the one that created all things. So all things lives in him, all things operate in him. So he does not need to learn from anyone, and he does not need to cause anyone to know that he's not learning. He's not a learner. He's a chief instructor. He instructs his word what to do by spoken the word. He instructs his spirit by inspiring his spirit to perform his operations. So he also inspire man. He also inspire angels. He inspire all his creatures to fulfill his decrees. So he does not learn from anybody because he has been in existence before learning commence. I will continue to be in existence to the infinity. So we are to consider things. So things to consider are several in this topic. One, God knows all things before their creation. And after their creation, God lives in endless spiritual realm that conveys all spiritual realms. 3. God is everywhere at all times. 4. God made all things through concessional thought and spoken word. 5. God oversees the affairs of all souls and speaks. He weighs the souls of all creatures. 6. God calculates all things according to his purpose. The last and not the least, God inspires all creatures in diverse ways. Now, one after the other, the explanation. Once God knew all things before he created them from their source, it means God does not need any information about anything because he's everywhere. He knows all things. I can do all things. So he can overrule any objection. So God is everywhere and he knows all things. His knowledge is infinite. His operations cannot be overturned. Number 2, God lives in endless spiritual realm that conveys all spiritual realms. So all spiritual realms came from him and lives in him, moves in him, and operates in him. So he inspires all spiritual realms. So without him, nothing can be done. With God, all things are possible, but without him, nothing shall be possible. Number 3, God is everywhere at all times. That is, his presence covers everywhere because the empty spiritual realm that all spiritual realms dwells in is the possessor. So he possesses all spiritual realms. His presence is everywhere. So God is everywhere at all times. In another dimension, God is in a particular place at a time. That is, his immortal and invisible body that he put on, as in his imaginable body, does not appear everywhere, but God internal being, that is his personality, his unformed spiritual realm, covers everything, lives everywhere. All things lives in him, moves in him, and operates in him. But there is body that he put on, that is his imaginable body, is not everywhere at all times. Number 4, God made all things through concessional thought and spoken word. Now, when the beginning has not begun, it was through concessional thought that is communicating. And when he made the sonic realm as his son, it was concessional thought that he used to create both the spoken word, the sound speaks, and all the spiritual realms in him. But when he came out from sonic realm, that he entered into empty spiritual realm once again, that he called upon the light to appear. He started using his words, and through his word, he created all things, and is controlling all things through his spoken word by his spirit in all ages. Number 5, God oversees the affairs of all souls and spirits. He weighs the souls of all creatures. That is, if a spirit is holy, God has his own measurement that is used to measure it. He have the spirit of measurement that he used to measure, that he used to weight whether spirit is holy or is not holy. Either a spirit or soul is perfect or is not perfect. He has his own spirit of weighting it and measuring the activities. Number 6, God calculates all things according to his purpose. That is, God has calculated all things before now in order to fulfill his purpose. So God is the first calculator that calculated all things according to his divine purpose. The last and not the least, number 7, God inspires all creatures in diverse ways. So He inspires all creatures from their source to their endless period. God is the inspirer. He inspires all creatures, including the realms, including their creatures. He inspires all. I pray that His mercy will continue to blossom your life. Thank you, children of light.